Hey Adam here. I wanted to record this quick video. I've been spending a lot of my time on Quora. It's a website where people can ask questions and well anybody can answer them, which I guess can be good and bad. And I've been playing around on the website for about 3 weeks now, and I'm really liking it, getting a lot out of it, getting a lot of content ideas. And some of the questions that I respond to, I spend a good chunk of time on them. This one being one of them, and this one was probably an hour plus spending time. So instead of just leaving the answer on Quora, I turned it into a blog post. And now here I am turning it into a video that I'll upload to YouTube and Facebook. So this video is going to cover the 10 dropshipping mistakes that will destroy your business. I've been dropshipping for about almost 2 years now. In June it'll be 2 years, so a year and a half, let's say a year and a half. So this is what these are the 10 most common mistakes that I see, or at least the 10 common mistakes that came into my head. I could probably come up with 20, 25 fairly quickly, but these are 10 of the popular ones, and I want to cover those. Number one is one of the big problems I see is selling trademarked items. This happens all the time, selling like Harry Potter necklaces or earrings or bracelets or whatever. A lot of the jewelry, movie related jewelry. There might be some music stuff, but music, movies, and sports. Those are like probably the three biggest that I see that people are, it's copyright infringement or trademark infringement, whatever you want to call it, selling items that they do not have licenses for. They're buying it from China very cheaply, and then they're selling it in on their Shopify stores. The margins are very good because they're buying it from China. However, it's fake. It's not. It's counterfeit items. It's not legitimate. You can get in big trouble. I know a very well-known marketer got sued for like 2.1 million, I think it was, selling similar thing. It wasn't those items, but it was similar. I know Shopify and Facebook are cracking down on it big time. I just had a guy actually. He was bragging about how he did a big number, $50,000 last week, selling a Harry Potter necklace. And I kind of called him out in the Facebook group, and he had messaged me privately, and I could tell he was scared. He didn't have a license, and it was illegal, and he said he had no idea. So that is a big problem. So that's number one. Number two is ridiculous expectations. This is super common, and this really actually pisses me off. It really upsets me, is because people have a dream to go out and start their own business, start their own Shopify store, maybe quit their job, be it at their family, things like that, and then they go out and really any online business, not just Shopify, but I'm in the Shopify, the e-commerce space, so that's what I know, and what I see more. So they go out and they have these ridiculous expectations, and it's from a lot of these courses out there, and it's a lot from a lot of these coaches out there that some of them promise instant riches. Some of them share these big screenshots and kind of sell, hey, anybody can do it, things like that. So that's a big problem. They have these ridiculous expectations. They strike out and they don't hit a home run their first some people in their first week, and then they want to fold up shop and then give up on their dreams. So having realistic expectations, that's a big one. And again, this is probably for just about any online business, but especially the e-commerce one. I see so many people, I know a lot of people that have got out of the business because they weren't making a lot of money in their first month, and it takes time. I think I made $250 my first month, so I think I profited. It was 18, or no, I'm sorry, it was $12 profit. So it takes some time. It's building a business. I ask everyone, give me 90 days of committed, focused action on one store, one business model. So having realistic expectations. That's number two. Number three, using AliExpress. It's a great place to get started. It's buying products from over in China. It's a great place to get started. But once you kind of get some capital going and got some money sitting in the bank, you're going to want to start buying in bulk from over there and shipping out product yourself to drastically reduce the shipping times. Have like custom packaging or just packaging with your name and logo on it when you send it from AliExpress. A lot of times it can get beat up. It travels from China. The yellow packaging can be really black, gets ran over by tires and things like that. So I think it's good to get started with AliExpress, but transition to buying in bulk from over there and or looking for US suppliers. What I do is buy in bulk, and I also have a drop shipper out of Texas that I use as well. So I don't have to store inventory from the Texas company, and I can still buy in bulk from AliExpress and still ship products. So you can kind of do both ways. But yeah, using AliExpress for too long, a lot of people think it's it's not a sustainable model. Number four is giving up too soon. I kind of touched on this again, not having the realistic expect, or a lot of people have these ridiculous expectations and they throw in the towel too soon. Again, that's why I ask, give it 90 days, give me 90 days, commit to one store, commit to this one business model. I just had a guy reach out to me. He's over in Asia looking for some coaching, and excuse me, he said he quit his full-time job last August, and he's been trying internet marketing since then, and he hasn't got it to work. He's tried affiliate marketing, he's tried blogging, and he's tried Amazon FBA, and he said none of them work. So I want to try Shopify. And so I said, well, three business models. August was 5 months ago. I think I see the problem, So I was like, nah, I can't really help you, So I asked him all these questions, I said, can you focus for 90 days, stick with one thing. So giving up too soon, again, give it 90 days of complete focused action. Have a plan for the 90 days and work it every single day. I think it's impossible to not succeed in 90 days if you stick to that plan or stick to that one business model. Number five, in not being super, super successful after 90 days, I should say gaining traction. I don't want to say you're quitting your job and you got a yacht and a private island in Belize. That's not what I mean. I'm talking about you're gaining some traction, you're gaining some momentum, but that's what you really want is the momentum to continue going forward. So, okay, the next one is five, spend way too much time. I'm going back and forth with my blog post to reference it. Spend way too much time on niche selection. I had another guy email me the other day saying how much time he spent picking the perfect niche. There's no such thing. I'm a big fan of picking a niche and going deep into it and spending the time and learning that niche and learning as much as you can about it, about that one specific niche. So don't spend too much time with a drop shipping business. It's not like you're investing a ton of money in inventory. You're not like, you don't have to go spend $300,000 on a building for 5 years or sign like a 10-year lease. I mean, it's all digital. We're super, super lucky, super fortunate to be able to start a business with very, very little money. Pick a niche, go for 90 days. If it's a niche you can't stand or it's not working or whatever, you can pivot to a different niche. So again, don't spend too much time. It's not like you're going to go sink 300 grand in buildings and product and inventory and things like that. Number six, the general store. A lot of marketers recommend the general store. I'm against it. I kind of just talked about niche, going in deep with the niche. I know a lot of the big time marketers talk about the general store. It leaves you options open. You can go from this type of niche to this type of niche. I just think it plays into that internet marketers bright shiny object thing. You're selling this type of product one week, and then the next week you're selling this type of product because this first one didn't work, and then this one doesn't work after a week, 10 days, then you go to another niche, a completely different product, and you're going up, and it can work. I'm not saying it can't. I'm just not a fan of it. I think going into a niche and diving deep, I think it's easier, and I think you'll find success faster. The general store can work. Typically, you have to have a much, much larger budget. That's why the big guys teach it. They have much larger budgets. Number seven is knowing your market. This is key. This is probably one of the most important steps in marketing, or I could argue it is the most important. Finding out your market, knowing your market, kind of diving deep, getting on Amazon, finding out what kind of books that they're reading, what kind of authors they like, going through Google, finding out the blogs that they read, blogs that they like, maybe events that they go to, again, depending on what niche you're in. Using Facebook, the audience insights. Those are the three websites I like using: Facebook, Google, and Amazon. Probably Facebook and Google the most, but Amazon a little bit for like book and author research. But look up the blogs, look up the if there's any associations, iPhone apps or Android apps, either or. If there's apps that your specific niche uses, that's very, very that could be very, very targeted traffic. So look up apps. Associations, blogs. I have about 40 different ones I look at. These are the ones that are just coming up off the top of my head. Books, authors, like I talked about. But just kind of playing around and just really, really getting to know your market, dialing in the demographic and the age, if it's 45 to 55-year-old women or whatever it is. Just really, really dive in and really, really get to know that market. Trim the tribe. I just heard that recently, and I love that phrase. Don't market to everyone. You're shooting you want to shoot with like a sniper rifle, not like a shotgun. So you want to target to you want to know your market, and when you know your market, then you can target with like a sniper rifle to that exact customer. The next one, number 8, is shitty customer support. I see this all the time, sadly. It doesn't really surprise me, unfortunately. I'll see like a lot of ads in my news feed, and I'll look at the comments for products. I can pretty much tell if they're shit selling products from China and things like that if they're doing the drop shipping. And looking at the comments, I'd say 9 times out of 10, these people, potential customers, are asking questions in the comments, and again, probably 9 times out of 10, there's no answers, or maybe an answer here and there, but very rarely are there answers. If there are answers, there typically is one in each comment. However, usually when I do see the answers, you can tell it's by a machine or a bot or a software, because typically each comment is there's probably 3 different variations of the comment and they alternate. That's how the softwares work, and then they link out to the item itself. To get that person to buy because they get a notification when the comment leaves. So you can kind of tell if it's a legitimate comment. I always have my VAs answer with just different comments, so it's not automated. Might cost a little bit more money, but it looks real. And again, people might have questions, and just be honest with them. A lot of times they'll say, "Hey, they're looking for an amethyst necklace," or this is an amethyst necklace we're selling, and they'll say, "Do you have it in topaz?" I'll say, "No, we don't carry topaz." So just be honest with them when they're asking the questions. But unfortunately, I see a lot of people will comment and just there's nothing there. The next one, number 9, I think. Yes, number 9 is chasing the money. This is what I did, was chase the money, and then this will kind of lead right into the 10th most important mistake. Chasing the money. This is what I did. I started a jewelry store, did very, very well with it, and just I didn't have a passion for it, but lost any interest in it, and just kind of I didn't hit a wall right away. I kind of was like in denial for a few months, and then I hit a wall, and I couldn't do it anymore. I stopped all the ads and basically walked away from the store. I still have it. I still have some inventory that occasionally I'll try to get rid of, but the store, I don't do much with it. The last 6 months, I haven't done much at all with it. Very, 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 very minimal sales. I just don't spend any time doing it, and it's because I didn't do anything I had an interest or passion in. I chased the money. Jewelry was recommended to me because it's a high perceived value, lightweight. There's a bunch of things easier to sell to women, things like that. So I chased the money. Again, I made good money. But I wish I would have done it differently. I wish I would have went after, built a store on something I like. And this goes into point number 10. It's 2017. I just don't think there is any reason not to pick a niche that you have an interest and or a passion in. You don't have to be gung-ho passionate about it, but have some type of interest in it where you like to talk about it. Because there will be some slow days, slow times, slow weeks, maybe slow months. And it's a lot harder to push through those slow times, weeks and months, when it's something you don't have an interest in or don't have really a joy doing. You want to do something that uh, you want to do something that makes you jump out of bed every morning. That's what you want to do. Honestly, it's 2017. I just don't think there's an excuse not to do that and not chase the money, like I talked about in the 9th mistake. Not chase the money and do something you enjoy doing. If it's an e-commerce store, sell something. In the coming weeks, I'm starting a sports sign store selling sports signs. They're different. They're not the tin signs. They're like made out of wood. They're very unique. And I love sports. I could talk about sports all day long. That's what I do on the weekends is sports. That's what I do. I don't really do it at nights, but that's what I do on the weekends. I've been a sports fan for years, so I can talk sports. So I'm really excited about that. So that is kind of what I teach is go after a niche. If you have a movie, or let's say TV show. Dexter was a TV show that I loved. There are a website called Trevco, Trevco, that you can go to and order officially licensed merchandise. Dexter, you can get like throw pillows for couches. You can get like shower curtains. The Dexter. You can get bed pillows. You can get comforters. Dexter stuff. I mean, I'd say there's 20 different items around the house of it would be all Dexter stuff. If that's your TV show that you liked, maybe it's a movie. Or another example is they have a ton. Trevco has a ton of music. AC/DC, Elvis, I think, Beatles, all kinds of music. I think they might have over 500 different categories of music. Some sports they have like Muhammad Ali, I think. TV shows, movies, things like that. You could literally create a community of people, perhaps a Facebook group, maybe around Game of Thrones, because that's a show I think that's still on TV. You could create a community around Game of Thrones where you talk about Game of Thrones, discuss Game of Thrones, this week's coming show, do an after show or the day after, do a Facebook Live, have a create community of raving fans, and then all of a sudden you introduce, hey, I just launched a new store where I'm selling Game of Thrones pillows or purses they have, shower curtains, things like that. So that's the biggest mistake, and that's probably the most important. Is if you're going to start a dropshipping business, go out, create it with something that you enjoy, create it with something that you have a passion for, create it build it around something that it's going to light you up. You're going to want to jump out of bed. You don't need an alarm clock. You're going to jump out of bed because you really, really enjoy selling Game of Thrones, whatever it is. So that's my 10 drop shipping mistakes. Again, there's more. Those are the 10 off the top of my head. A couple of them somewhat overlapped in that, but it was a lot of fun answering this question. So much that I turned it into a blog post, like I said, and then also a video. So if you have any questions, please just leave them down in the comments below. Thank you.